Okay, so in order to play what we call comping, which is short for accompanying your part on guitar that's going to be based off of chords, you only have to learn 3 chords to actually play this tune. And this video, what we're going to do is we're just going to get started nice and easy and start with finding some chord shapes that you're probably used to using on the guitar. And just so we can kind of get our home base where the chords, what the chords sound like, and just maybe start somewhere kind of familiar. And then in the next video, we'll look into ways that we can use those same chords, but get some shapes that might do the job a little better for us. So the first thing we need to know is that this tune is in the key of B flat major. All right? And so the first chord we're going to be using is what we call the 1 chord, because it's based off the first note in B flat, which is B flat. So the first chord we're going to be playing is B flat major. So if you're not sure where B flat is, we'll first start on the E string, the bottom E string here. And what we're going to do is find the 6th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a B flat, the note, B flat. And the first chord is based off a shape that should be pretty familiar. It's probably the first bar chord shape you learned. It's the shape that's based on our E, open E chord here. And what we do is we just move it over here. We have the 6th fret here, and we get the shape, which I'm sure you've played a bunch of times before. So that's our basic B flat chord, starting on the E string at the 6th fret. And that's the chord we're going to be playing for most of the tune. All right? And the notes in that chord, in this full kind of grip that we have here, are B flat, F, B flat again, D, another F, and a B flat. So there's our B flat chord. Okay. Now the next chord that we're going to learn is what we call the Forecourt, because it's based on the 4th note of the B flat major scale, which is E flat. B flat, C, D, E flat, the 4th note of the scale. All right. And so that is going to be an E flat chord, E flat major. All right. And again, we're going to be using probably the second most common bar chord shape, which is this shape right here, which comes from our open A shape. And we just basically play it again with our first note, our E flat, starting on the 6th fret. And then on the 8th fret, we have our bar chord with our ring finger. All right, and that's our E flat major chord. All right, so we've got our B flat chord and our E flat chord. All right, now the next chord that we're going to play is what we call the 5 chord, because it's based on the 5th note of the scale, which is F. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th note. And we're going to be using a very similar shape to the shape we just used, except, instead of starting on the 6th fret, we're starting on the 8th fret. All right? But what we're going to do is we're going to play it a little different. Instead of just playing, our regular F major shape, what we're going to do is we're going to play what's called an F7 chord. And what that basically means is that we add the 7th note in the B flat scale from F, which is E flat. We want to have that in our shape. So instead of just our regular major chord shape, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our bar here, just like we always do, on the 8th fret. And then we're going to go F, C. So we have the 10th fret. Our bar gives us the E flat back on the 8th fret. All right. And then we have our A concert, which is again back on the 10th fret. And again, we have our C concert. So we have that sound, which was called an F7, which is a little different than our F major, because we're adding that E flat to kind of give it a little more color. And again, those are the only sounds that we're going to be working with in terms of our chords, right? So we've got our B flat major bar chord here, our E flat chord, E flat major, and our F7 right here. And again, if you're wondering where that F7 shape comes from, if you've learned in your open position the A7 chord, again, it's the same grip, but we're just playing it up here. And it's really that simple. So those are our 3 sounds. And what I'm going to do now is play each chord, and then up on the screen you're going to see the chord symbol, the name that you're going to be seeing if once you start playing along with the videos. So our B flat chord sounds like that. Our E flat chord sounds like this. And our F7 chord sounds like that and looks like that. And it's really that simple. Alright, so in the next video we're going to kind of take a look to see how these sounds can be used with different shapes. Shapes that might be a little easier to use in a jazz context. Okay.